2-inch border all the way around. When I assign the 1-point homework, it's going to be in that format. You have a 2-inch border in the middle of an 18 by 24 sheet of paper. So I'm going to start with 1-point perspective room with baby steps. That doesn't mean it's easy to get, but if some of you guys that know this stuff, you could consider having a higher or lower eye level or have your vanishing point in a different spot. But for now, we're going to start with making an X in our picture plane here. And you want it to be a perfect X to start with, okay? If this X is imperfect, nothing will work really. You want to go from corner to corner. So you have to have a good rectangle to begin with, and then your X's have to end at the corners. Remember what I said earlier? 1, 2, or 3-point perspective. If you draw an X on a plane, you've got the middle of it where the X intersects. So that's where we're going with this. I'm going to say, that's where my vantage point is going to be, where the X intersects. Now let's, make a back wall of the room. Right now I can just see an X, right? So I'm going to come in here and decide how big I want my back wall to be. That's kind of up to me. And I'm going to make a horizontal here. Now once I've made that horizontal, or a vertical on either side, I've determined the entire dimensions for that back wall, because everything's got to meet up to the corners, okay? So provided my X is perfect, she's not. I come here, and here. Now if my X is perfect, and my verticals and horizontals are perfect, that horizontal at the bottom should line right up. So here we go. It's slightly off. This is good. Let me see what happens here. Ooh. Aha. Why didn't you catch me, Olga?
Sorry.
I see exactly what happened. Bear with me. One of the horizontals in my drawing was off. So did you see how it didn't quite line up? So let's backtrack. Get our perfect X back. Okay, now what happened last time was when I made this top horizontal here, it wasn't quite right. So let's make sure this one is quite right. If this one doesn't line up, I'm going home. I'm going to retire. Okay, here we go. Thank God. Now, once again, it's kind of cool that that happened, because what I discovered was this line wasn't quite horizontal. Off a little bit, everything's wrong. Okay? Now, you still just see a bunch of lines up here. I'm telling you that's the vanishing point, which sits on eye level. So I'm not going to draw the eye level in my drawing here. I'm going to put it outside my drawing just so you understand where that is. Okay, so I'm telling you I have 5 planes, 5 visible planes. And those planes are back wall, right wall, left wall, ceiling, floor. Okay? These are beginning steps, and they're important. So, 1-point perspective, all lines must be vertical, horizontal, or go to the vanishing point. put them into my orthogonal lines right here. So I have 5 planes. If I'm standing in this room, once again, if the ceiling were flat, I'm seeing 5 planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th plane behind me, right? So let's start putting things in this room. Similar as we did with the 2-point room. I think 2 points far more dynamic. I think that looks cool if you were going to construct a room starting with that, right? 2-point can look cool like this, but there's other ways to make, excuse me, 1 point can look cool like this, but there's other ways to make it really, really dynamic. But we're starting with the basics. Let's make the top of a door here. Line going to my vanishing point. Two verticals. And I've got the outline for a door. So the way I'm starting this lecture is I've got 5 planes and I'm going to put a plane on every one of those 5 planes. I've already got one on the right wall. Let's put one, are you working now? This red guy cooperates and then he doesn't, the black one works. Let's put a rug in front of the door there. So I'm going to make another plane. This plane will be on the bottom plane. So I'm going to make a couple of horizontals here, right in front of the door. Two orthogonals, 2 lines going back to the VP. Now I've got a plane on that plane. If that rug's lined up with the vanishing point, then it's proceeding the same direction as the floor. Let's put a plane here. Let's make a big picture window again. 2 orthogonals. Those lines are going to the vanishing point. Couple of verticals. And I have a plane on that plane. You guys sort of like mother making stuff. Let's put a plane on the ceiling. Josh, you like planes on the ceiling? You like planes on the ceiling?
Okay.
So I'm not making it exactly dead center, but I'm making it very big for a reason, for clarity. Dead center is not so important here. If you want a dead center, you can make a dead center. So I've got planes on 4 planes. What plane have I got the wall and a plane on top of it? The wall was wall. Middle, the what?
Middle.
Back wall, okay. I know you guys all knew. You know, by the way, it's not so important that the window in the back wall is the same height as the window over here, but if ever you want to do something like that, and this is really good to know anyway, you extend your lines to corners. So this black line here from the top of this and bottom of this window, these little lines I'm making right here, see those little lines? The top and bottom of my window on the side of the wall. I can use those to start this back window and it'll be the same height. But before I get to that, what kind of lines do I do to make the back window? Straight, yeah. Which direction are they going? Yes? Yeah, vertical and horizontal. Because that wall is not foreshortened. It's receding in space, yes, okay? But it's not foreshortened, so I draw it as if with verticals and horizontals. And if I come right to where the top of that window on the left wall there's, and the bottom of the window on that left wall is, all I do is turn a corner here. If you were painting a stripe around your room at the same height. Then a couple of verticals. And these windows, while their width is different, they're the same height. That's not necessary that you do it, but if you want to know how to extend things the same height as you're coming around corners, that's how you do it. You just carry your lines to the corner and then go in another direction. Okay, we have planes on 5 planes. Now let's do something with them. The door, I'm just going to make a frame around it right now. So there's a next week probably. This is the longest lecture of the semester, by the way, today. But next week probably, I'll show you guys measuring to get things receiving space for windows, railroad tracks, telephone poles, fences. You can get them to receiving space logically, okay? But right now, when I'm drawing this frame around this door, I'm going to eyeball it. So I know that whatever width I draw the frame back here, whatever width that is, it's going to be wider here because it's what? Closer. Now we know it's not wider, but we know it appears wider because of perspective. Something fun to do, guys, when you're in any building and you stand close to the wall and you just measure, like we did for the positive negative space, the windows as they go further and further back. The first window might be like that wide, and the last one might be, 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so now the top of the door frame. From my vanishing point. Okay, we'll put a doorknob on that later. Now I'm going to go back to my windows. I want to give them depth, okay? So let's start with the skylight. Skylight's a window on the ceiling. If you turn your drawing sideways, the skylight becomes a window. But let's, from these corners here, remember corners, guys. You work from corners. So let's make a couple of verticals here. You got that? Let's connect them with a horizontal. Okay, now this is a point where students will sometimes get confused. Students will sometimes connect this corner with this corner, and that is wrong. For the side, showing the thickness on the sides of the skylight. So what you have to do is connect this corner with your vanishing point. So here we go. Right there. Yeah. And then once again, guys, don't connect this corner with this corner. Rather, connect this corner with the ED. Skylight. You ever jump through a skylight? Like a superhero? What do you guys ever do? Okay, let's.
I'm only 18.
You're only 18. You know what's tough for me? Is because, as you get older, life gets much cooler, by the way. It really does. You just love it so much more, and you've got all this history to look back on. But I fulfilled my entire bucket list in my 50s. And I need a new bucket list. When you're young, you have this bucket list. You want to do all these things. What's that?
Your mid-bucket list?
No, just a bucket list. Things I wanted to do before I die. But I haven't died yet, but I've filled my bucket list, so that's hard. Okay, You guys can come up with some crazy thing for me to do, okay, after I do bucket list. Right now, let's give this window here some depth. So everything's dealing with corners once again, guys. And I make that window above and below eye level so you can see the thickness of the wall. And I'm gonna make a couple of horizontals first. Now pay close attention here, because this is a place where people get stuck sometimes. These two green lines, I'm making them really, really long, really wide, so you can see that. These are horizontals. Those lines, those green lines I drew are not going to the vanishing point, they are horizontals. Connect them with the vertical. Now we come to that point that we came to with the skylight, where we've got to line these corners up with the vanishing. Here we go. Vanishing point to those corners. Oh. Okay, back window. I get to ask a question of great profundity now, okay? You guys ready for that? I'm gonna ask a very profound question now. You ready? Where's the vanishing point? You just hear mumbling out there. None of your answers are wrong. I just want you to be thinking, okay? There is a correct answer, really, but I want you to be thinking, yes. Right in the middle.
Where you're looking.
That's true, but what?
Where you're looking.
Where I'm looking, that's true, yeah. I'm looking at you, so I know where you are.
That's not right.
This is important at this point in the drawing. Any of these spots that are sticking points I'm talking about, they were sticking points for me. So that's why I want to make sure you guys get it. Where's the vanishing point?
So where's it?
I'm sitting on eye level. I'm looking for something else. It's where you can't see it? Where's that line? Continues where? Past that wall. Okay? Past, Julia, why did you answer this? You know this. Where's the vanishing point? You had it. It's on the horizon line. It's not a trick question. Well, I said all your answers are right, but I'm really asking where it's supposed to be in relation to our drawing. So that vanishing point is sitting, remember this green eye level I drew to start with? Our horizon line back there? Is this marker not working? I'm having all kinds of fun with my markers today. That's outside, that's the horizon line. That vanishing point is sitting way out on the horizon line where it's vanishing. It's important to understand that. Because if you were to draw a fireplace, or you were to get that window thickness, or if you had doors open and you saw buildings across the street that were going on from that perspective, you have to understand the vanishing point is the point where everything's doing what? Vanishing. Right? I got stuck here. 3 o'clock in the morning in Long Beach, California. I remember it well. So, if I understand that, I can go ahead and give this wall thickness. If I think the vanishing point is strictly sitting on the back wall, and I'm saying space ends there, and I can't create any depth past that. So, okay, away we go. Corners. It wasn't a trick question, it was a question of great profundity. Okay. So these two lines I've drawn from these corners are going to be key. I'm going to connect them with the vertical. I need two horizontals to complete that. You guys understand that? Two horizontals to complete it. So, are you working? No. So I'm going to put a horizontal from that corner at the top, right there. And another one at the bottom. With the understanding that that vanishing point is sitting on the horizon line, eye level, way back there, I can continue to see the great outdoors. You could make some really dynamic mountain ranges out there. Aren't those dynamic? Just showing you that it would continue back there. You like my mountains? Yeah, yes. I am. Well, okay, let's put it to the test. It's a good question, but it has to do with cone of vision. When I'm standing here looking straight back, I can see that right and left wall and ceiling and floor, but they're arguably in my peripheral, right? I gotta kind of go like this or this to really see that. So to see it in greater depth, I'd have to get rid of this wall behind me, move further back, because we see the world through a cone of vision. So it's a good question, okay? The cone of vision that we see the world through as humans is approximately 60-degree cone that comes out from our eyes. Everything within that cone that we draw would be in proportion. Anything outside of that cone is in our peripheral. When you're driving and there's a car coming up to your side, you know not to make a right turn even without looking in your mirror because your peripheral sucks. Okay? So if I'm drawing you guys right now, I can get about as far as, I forgot the gentleman's name back there. Maybe to you. Actually, you're out of the drawing, okay? And I can get about as far as Jeremy, right? Right? Is that your name? No. Okay. Whatever your name is. That's about as far as I can get with my cone of vision. Okay? As I move closer and closer, he's in my cone of vision, but the rest of you guys are all out of it now. As I move closer and closer,